This is part 2 of a presentation on 4 of the great cosmic bodhisattvas within Mahayana Buddhism. In the previous portion of this presentation, we focused on Avalokitesvara, or Kuan Yin, the regarder of the cries of the world, who is the embodiment of compassion, and also Manjusri, who is the embodiment of wisdom, those being the two major aspects really of Buddhahood, to the extent that we can conceptualize or break down the nature of Buddhahood into attributional kinds of characteristics. Now who we are going to focus on is Samantabhadra. And he is a bodhisattva, again quoting from Wikipedia, a bodhisattva in Mahayana Buddhism associated with the Buddhist practice and meditation, together with Sakyamuni Buddha, who's the historical Buddha, and fellow bodhisattva Manjusri, who we focused on last time. He, namely Samantabhadra, forms what's sometimes referred to as the Sakyamuni Trinity in Buddhism. In other words, oftentimes in Buddhism, in Buddhist art, if you see a picture or painting of the Buddha or a statue of the Buddha, he will be flanked by two bodhisattvas, one representing compassion, one representing wisdom, and those two bodhisattvas in effect being manifestations of or emanations from that primary Buddha. So again, when you see the historical Buddha, Sakyamuni, within the cosmic framework of Mahayana Buddhism, he will typically be flanked by Samantabhadra and by Manjusri. Samantabhadra is the patron of the Lotus Sutra, and according to the Avatamsaka Sutra, he made the 10 great vows which are the basis of a bodhisattva. In China, he is associated with action, whereas, as I said before, the bodhisattva Manjusri is associated with wisdom. Samantabhadra is a key figure in the flower garland or Avatamsaka Sutra, particularly in the last chapter. In the climax of that chapter, the student Sudana meets the bodhisattva Samantabhadra, who teaches him that wisdom only exists for the sake of putting it into practice. That is its only good insofar as it benefits all living beings. In the Lotus Sutra, which, as you know from previous videos, I revere and have studied intensively, he is described at length in the epilogue, namely the Sutra of Meditation on the Bodhisattva, Universal Worthy. In that epilogue, there is special detail given to visualization of the Bodhisattva and the virtues of devotion to him. Back to the Flower Garland Sutra, the Buddha states that the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra made the 10 great vows in his path to full Buddhahood. Number 1, to pay homage and respect to all Buddhas. Number 2, to praise all the Buddhas. Number 3, to make abundant offerings, that is, to give generously. Number 4, to repent misdeeds and evil karmas. Number 5, to rejoice in others' merits and virtues. Number 6, to request the Buddhas to continue teaching. Number 7, to request the Buddhas to remain in the world. Number 8, to follow the teachings of the Buddhas at all times. Number 9, to accommodate and benefit all living beings. And finally, number 10, to transfer all merits and virtues to benefit all beings. The 10 vows have become a common practice in East Asian Buddhism, particularly the 10th vow, with many Buddhists traditionally dedicating their merit and good works to all beings during Buddhist liturgies. And by the way, any merit that these videos may have, by all means, I wish to be devoted to all beings. Samantabhadra is also found in a trinity on the right side of Sakyamuni, mounted on a white elephant, And in those traditions that accept the Avatamsaka Sutra as its root instruction, Samantabhadra and Manjusri flank Vairocana Buddha, the central Buddha of that particular sutra. Now finally, I want to give some mention and focus on Maitreya Bodhisattva. Maitreya is a future Buddha of this world in Buddhist doctrine. In other words, this Saha world, or this earth. In some Buddhist literature, such as the Amitabha Sutra and the Lotus Sutra, he is referred to as Ajita Bodhisattva. Maitreya is a bodhisattva who, in the Buddhist tradition, is to appear on earth, achieve complete enlightenment, and teach the pure Dharma. According to scriptures, Maitreya will be a successor of the historic Sakyamuni Buddha, who was the founder of Buddhism. The prophecy of the arrival of Maitreya references a time when the Dharma, or Buddhist teaching, will be forgotten. So basically, Maitreya is the Buddha of the future, and as I indicated in an earlier video, is basically, as I see him, oriented in a learning mode, as you see him in the photograph of a statue in front of the camera right now. Maitreya supposedly currently resides in the Tusita or Tushita heaven. Sakyamuni Buddha also lived there before he was born into the world. In Mahayana Buddhism, once Maitreya becomes a Buddha, he will rule over the Ketumati Pure Land. In Mahayana Buddhism, Buddhas preside over a pure land. You'll remember that the Buddha Amitabha presides over the Sukhavati Pure Land, more popularly known as the Western Paradise. Maitreya will be the fifth Buddha of the present eon, and his arrival will occur after the teachings of the current Gautama Buddha, which is Sakyamuni's name, are no longer meaningfully communicated or are completely forgotten. At this time, a notable teaching he will start giving is that of the 10 non-virtuous deeds, namely killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, divisive speech, abusive speech, idle speech, covetousness, harmful intent, and wrong views. And he will also teach the 10 virtuous deeds, which are the flip side, basically, namely the abandonment of killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, divisive speech, abusive speech, idle speech, covetousness, harmful intent, and wrong views. It's interesting to me that the name Maitreya is derived from the word Maitri in Sanskrit or Metta in Pali, meaning loving kindness, which is in turn derived from the noun mitra or mita, which means friend. Maitreya Bodhisattva certainly is our friend, as are all of these cosmic Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. If I can manage it, I will show a small statue of Maitreya. And to go full circle, if I can, I will show you Avalokitesvara. You may have seen him in this male form in another video. He is back and to the right of Maitreya. Namo Mita Butch, Namo Mita Butch, Namo Mita Butch.